Mr. Gordon informed me that he has given me a new contraption here, and I think it's one of the speakers that Pastor Ross uses. So I'm very accustomed to this, but if it acts up, I'm warning you, I'm taking it off. Old school girl. So he has come and, as they say, really hooked me up. The worship service has been so wonderful. The music has just been outstanding. The Susan, the children, the Spirit of God has just been with us this morning. And now it comes time for the priest's word. Pastor Ross has preached about generosity, and he informed me that this is one of the next series of the theme of generosity. And so I'm sharing with you today that whatever I might say, you can go and tell him, because I sent him the manuscript last night, so he knows what I will be preaching about. You have heard the wonderful reading of the text by Minister Tavis Tinsley. That's Luke chapter 16, verses 1 through 13. And I will not read that for you again, but there are two verses I want to lift up for you to give thought to, and then we will pray and move into our lesson for the morning. There are two verses I want you to really be thoughtful about, are verses 8 and 9. And they read thusly: The master commended the dishonest manager because he had acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own than are the people of the light. I tell you, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourselves, so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. Now, I'd like for us to consider for the subject for the morning, a backhanded compliment. A backhanded compliment. Come, sisters and brothers of the Lord. Have thine own way, Lord, have thine own way. Thou art the potter and I am the clay. Mold me and make me after your will. While I'm waiting, yielding and still. And send the Holy Spirit, God, such that whatever I may speak may be from you and through the Spirit, to share a word of comfort and a word of encouragement for your people. This is our prayer in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen. A backhanded compliment. The Gospel of Luke is often referred to as a social gospel because it paints a really beautiful picture of Jesus as an inclusive Savior who touches the lives of people from all walks of life. Jesus touched the lives of the Jews, of Samaritans, of Gentiles, the Roman soldiers, the poor, the women, children, the powerful, the powerless, the homeless, the rich, the poor, the sick, the devout, and yes, the sinners. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus demonstrates his very vast capacity to show compassion for all people that he encountered. And it includes his compassion that he showed when he wept very openly in Jerusalem, when he knew that that would be the place where the people on the one hand had come for their spiritual pilgrimage. They would say, Hosanna, Hosanna, and he knew that within 24 hours, that is the place where they would yell, crucify him, crucify him. And so his compassion extended even to the beloved city of David, Jerusalem. Now, the Gospel of Luke is a book that is filled with parables. And parables are just simple stories that use common symbols for the people of that time. And they kind of have an indirect way to teach the people either a lesson or impart some kind of moral rule that he wanted people to follow. And so in Luke we find lots of parables. There's the parable of the Good Samaritan. There's the publican and the Pharisee who went up to the temple to pray together. There's the story of the rich man and Lazarus. There's the parable of the lost coin. There's the parable of the prodigal son. There's the parable of the rich fool who wanted to go and tear down all his barns so that he could build greater barns, so that he could store all of his goods. And then we have today's parable, the parable of the dishonest manager. Some readings call it the parable of the shrewd manager. Some readings call it the parable of the crooked manager. So this is our text for the day. But it is a stewardship parable. And this parable is bracketed. If you go and read the 16th chapter of Luke on your own time, there are two other parables. There's a parable of the prodigal son, and then there's a parable after this one of the rich man and Lazarus. And you don't have to look too hard to see that one aspect of all of these is stewardship, and stewardship is about money, M-O-N-E-Y, as Carter B said, money movies. So it is about money. You all don't know who Carter B is. And so in today's text, Luke 16, chapter 1 through 13, is about this manager who gets into trouble for squandering the rich man's property. And so the first thing I want us to think about here as you digest this particular parable is this. Well, the first question when I read it, what came to my mind was, well, who reported to the rich man that the manager was messing over his money? And why did the rich man believe that what he had heard about the manager was true? And why did he not give his employer the benefit of the doubt by allowing him to answer or defend himself? Because when I read the text, there's nothing in the text that tells us that the rich man had proof other than someone informed him of the situation. So I said, maybe it was that whispering street committee who went to him and snitched on the manager. Now we have biblical proof of folks telling on other folks when it will place them in a favorable light. Judas was in Jesus' inner circle and knew everything about him, and yet when it was convenient and he became disillusioned with Jesus' leadership, he was able to slip away to the Pharisees and tell them where to find Jesus. He told on him. He was part of the inner circle, and so he snitched on Jesus. And then we know that and he got money for it, 30 pieces of silver for it. So when David was fleeing over in Samuel from Saul, and he went to the temple so that he could find food for his men, Doug the Edomite saw him and slipped back and went and told Saul where he could find David. And then, of course, you know, in the book of Daniel, the 3 Hebrew boys ended up in the fiery furnace because somebody in the circle went and told the king that they were there praying to their God and not praying to the king. So we know that there have been street committees for a long, long time. The street committee goes as far back long before the 21st century. That is very apparent. So what is this street committee, and who is it that went and told the rich man about his employee? Well, this street committee is not an employment committee. It is not an appointed committee of the United Methodist Church. The street committee members are not recommended by the Committee on Nomination and Leadership Development. Now, the street committee's unofficial chairperson is not elected by its unofficial committee members. Rather, the unofficial chair is self-appointed, and it is viewed as the instigator with the most information. The street committee is an unofficial, sometimes unidentified committee of people who have the inside scoop of what is going on with everything and almost everybody, whether the information is factual, it can be verified or not, and they swear that no one else has this inside scoop except them. we know that it was during Jesus' time, this is how the rich man somehow came to find out about the manager. So Eugene Peterson, in his very earthly translation of the Messenger, says it this way when he talks about the manager. He said, the manager got reports, the rich man got reports that the manager had been taking advantage of his position by running up huge personal expenses. So the man knew because someone from the street committee reported the manager. And we can behave in ways that are questionable and believe that no one sees our deeds, but there's always somebody from the street committee who sees us, who knows our habits, and will tell on us when there's something for them to gain. The second thing I thought about as I was looking at the text is this. There must have been some prior interaction between the rich man and the manager for the employee to believe that what he had heard was true. And based upon the manager's subsequent behavior, if you read the text, the rich man had reasons not to trust the employee. Read the text. So based upon what the rich